say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Mr. Tillery. Good morning. My name is Father Carmelo. I am the university's chaplain. And I ask you to please remain standing for the invocation. Let us pray. Good and gracious God, send us your spirit of wisdom and understanding to enlighten our minds so as to perceive the mysteries of the universe in relation to eternity. Send us your spirit of right judgment and courage to guide us and make us firm in our decisions to follow you. Send us your spirit of knowledge and reverence to help us see the lasting value of justice and mercy in our everyday dealings with one another. May we respect life as we work to solve problems of family, the nation, economy, and ecology. Spirit of God, spark our faith, hope, and charity into new action each day, and fill our lives in wonder, in awe in your presence, which penetrates all creation. We ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Welcome. My name is Al Garcia. I'm the Dean of St. Thomas University School of Law. You have achieved your dream and arrived at the short end of your 3-year journey. You are the antithesis of the comedian who remarked, "I'm sick of following my dreams. I will just ask them where they're going and hook up with them later." Today is a special day. And not only for you, but for your families, your spouses, your siblings, your friends, significant others who made it possible for you to finish this journey. Let's acknowledge them by giving them a big round of applause. I also wish to acknowledge our wonderful faculty who served as your mentors and your teachers for the past 3 years. I'd also like to recognize a few persons who are here and who have made incalculable contributions to the success of our law school. First, I wish to recognize members of the university's Board of Trustees and its chair, John Dooner. The chair of the law school's Board of Advisors, Mr. Herman Russomano. And Father Pat O'Neill, under whose intrepid leadership the law school was founded, and I wouldn't have a job and you wouldn't be here without him. I also want to recognize a dear friend, a former member of the Board of Trustees, and a leader in ensuring access to higher education for all. How many of you here have bought a Florida college prepaid tuition program for daughter, son, grandson, or daughter? Lot. Well, the man who founded the Florida college prepaid tuition program, now aptly named the Stanley Tate Florida College Prepaid Tuition Program, is here. Mr. Tate? He will be honored in this afternoon's commencement ceremony for his tireless dedication to our university and to higher education in general. Indeed, the governor under whose leadership that program was started is here, who is our commencement speaker, and he bought the first 2 Florida prepaid programs. There are now 1,800,000 purchasers of that program. I also want to recognize our commencement speaker's lovely wife, Mary Jane Martinez, who is here today. In addition, we have 4 Grand Marshals today, graduates of the class of 1990, who are celebrating their 25th anniversary of their graduation. Let's acknowledge them. Our motto here in St. Thomas University is developing leaders for life. I want to acknowledge 3 of my faculty colleagues and former deans of the law school whose time, talents, and treasure have made this school what it is today. Fred Light, who will be hooding his son Greg, who's graduating today, took the law school through a very difficult, critical, and tumultuous period successfully and gracefully. John Magdesey is a visionary whose community law center preceded the incubator movement that facilitates law schools graduates' transition to sole or small practice, and was the only dean who served in the dual capacity of dean of the law school and vice president of the university for academic affairs. Last but not least, my successor and my predecessor, Doug Ray, shepherded this school through the most severe crisis in legal education in the past 4 decades. Gentlemen, I stand in your shadows. What advice do I have for you today? Never forget your roots. Follow your heart. Follow your values. Remember the advice of the Dalai Lama, who in his book, The Art of Happiness at Work, in one of the chapters, divides work into 3 categories: a job, a career, and a calling. Some people view their work as simply a job to earn money. Others see it as a career and focus on career development and advancement, promotions, and going to the highest levels in their fields. The third category view their work as a calling and see their work as contributing to a greater good associated with a sense of meaning. As you can imagine, satisfaction at work is highest for those who view their work as a calling. And I'd like to briefly quote the Dalai Lama, who says, quote, "If you view your work as a calling, that would definitely help your mind not to tire easily. It would reduce boredom and give you a greater sense of purpose and resolve. And with that view, you can maintain your interest and enthusiasm even if you didn't get that pay or promotion." A recent study published just this past week confirms the Dalai Lama's wisdom. In a survey of over 6,200 lawyers, high-income and partner-track jobs had almost zero correlation with happiness and well-being. On the other hand, working in public service positions such as public defenders, legal aid, state attorneys produced a much closer correlation with happiness. As Herald journalist Ana Viciana Suarez has written, quote, "Our success will be gauged by the relationships we build, the depth of our commitment to family and friends, by the value that guide us. True class will be found in the quality of our compassion." The prophet Micah has put it best, and he asks, "What does the Lord require of you? To act justly and to love mercy and to walk humbly with your God." I congratulate all of you and sincerely and fervently hope that you will find your calling, whatever that endeavor may be. It is now my pleasure to proudly announce the leader of this university for 2 decades, the president of the university, the Reverend Monsignor Franklin Casal.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Fernandez Center on this beautiful campus of St. Thomas University on this beautiful day in South Florida. This room today is filled with pride, and I wish to congratulate those who are the source of our pride, the graduates of St. Thomas University School of Law, class of 2015. For St. Thomas University, today is about the best day of the year. For our graduates, it's probably the best day since you began your journey 3 years ago. We celebrate your success today, our university's success as well as an institution of higher learning. We celebrate your success as students and soon to be the best lawyers ever. Today we honor you, our law school graduates. I also salute and thank the Honorable Bob Martinez, former governor of the state of Florida, for his presence today and his words. And I would also like to thank and acknowledge Mr. Stanley Tate, not only a long-term member of the Board of Trustees, but a dear friend of mine. I extend the best wishes and congratulations of Archbishop Thomas Wensky, the sponsor of St. Thomas University School of Law, and of the Board of Trustees. On your behalf, I thank Dean Garcia and his administration and our outstanding faculty. I salute your parents, relatives, and friends who have supported you during what is often a very stress-filled path through the study of law. But I'm sure you will all agree it was well worth it. For in just a few minutes, we will name you the newest group of lawyers in this great country of ours. God bless all of you.
Good morning. Good morning. As Provost of the University and on behalf of the faculty and administration here at St. Thomas University, it is my honor and my privilege as Provost to congratulate our proud graduates this morning. Congratulations to the class of 2015. Today, all of you join a strong, proud, and ever-growing alumni base of over 4,500 St. Thomas law attorneys. As our grand marshals from the class of 1990 can attest, each of you has before you a career of many professional achievements. I make this prediction with confidence because I know that all of you have been well prepared over the past few years. Thanks to the leadership of Dean Garcia and thanks to the legal training and knowledge provided by our distinguished faculty, each of you is now well prepared to succeed in the courtroom and also in this increasingly global environment that we call the real world. You have also learned from one another important groups during your law school years, your classmates. Take a moment today to thank them, in addition to your family and friends who have helped you along the way. Your classmates, your fellow graduates who sit next to you today are your soon-to-be colleagues who may be your co-counsel or opposing counsel tomorrow. All of you represent the future of the legal profession. We are proud to know that going forward you will be referred to as accomplished graduates of St. Thomas University School of Law. Your futures are bright and today is your day. Enjoy it again. Congratulations. Dean Garcia.
It is now my honor to present the valedictorian of the JD class, David Schwartney.
Thank you, Dean Garcia. Monsignor Cassell, Governor Martinez. Monsignor Cassell, Governor Martinez, Dean Garcia, members of the Board of Trustees and the Law School Board of Advisors, members of the faculty and the administration, families, friends, most particularly my fellow classmates. There was a man at the 1992 Summer Olympics in Barcelona who was arguably one of the fastest runners in history. This man's name was Derek Redmond, and he was favored to win the 400-meter sprint. He set a new world record in his first race, and he won the quarterfinal. And when the starter's pistol fired in the semifinal, Derek Redmond exploded into the lead. But 150 meters into the race, disaster struck. Derek crumpled to the track with a severely torn hamstring. It would deny him his place atop the Olympic pedestal, but Derek Redmond himself was not to be denied. Despite the fact that all the other competitors had crossed the finish line, Derek Redmond rose as the stretcher bearers moved in. He struggled to his feet and he began, miraculously, to run. In an extraordinary display of courage, although he could put almost no weight on his right leg, looking on in disbelief, the crowd began to cheer. It seemed all but certain, though, that Derek Redmond's leg would not make it to the finish line. He wasn't going to get there. From the top row of the spectator stands, a man began to run down the stairs, and he leaped onto the field. "Let me through," the man cried. "That's my son out there." He caught up to his son on the track and put an arm around his waist, and he said, "Son, you don't have to do this." Derek Redmond replied, "Pop, yes, I do." "Fine then," his father said. "We started this together, and we will finish it together." And with tears streaming down Derek's face, they walked the final 100 meters and crossed the finish line together. My fellow classmates, my friends, we started our own journey together 3 years ago, and together, today, we finish it. We are law school graduates. But like Derek Redmond, we do not cross the finish line alone. We have learned the law. We've been taught to think like lawyers. Fully half of us were privileged to be educated in the ways of contract by Professor Sullivan. to whom I am personally thankful. He pushed me further than I ever thought I could go. Whenever any of us read a contract now, we will scan it for intent, content, and communication. Should we find it, we will know we're in the presence of an offer, as Professor Sullivan is today, an offer of thanks from his students. Professor Sullivan walks across the finish line with us today. We studied torts with professors like Dean Hernandez, who awakened us to the fact that none of us is the reasonable person. Some less than others. He walks beside us as we cross the finish line as well. Professors like Professor Kang helped us unravel the mysteries of the Constitution. While simultaneously creating about 50 more. Professors Kravitz and Mahoney and others taught us to write like lawyers. While Dean Dykes made sure we received the real-world experience we needed to learn the things that could not be imparted within the confines of the classroom. As we walk across the finish line today, they are all beside us. They have been our mentors, and they have been our friends as much as they have been our educators. And on behalf of the entire class of 2015, we express our deepest thanks to all the faculty and staff at St. Thomas Law. But our journey has not been without sacrifice. Many of us will walk across the finish line today fatigued. We will lean on our family and our loved ones for support. Those family and loved ones will walk across the finish line with us as well. Others are exhausted to the point nearing physical injury. Many of the faculty have supported us. Perhaps Amar has supported us. They have borne much of our weight lest we too crumple to the track. They walk across the finish line with us as well. Still others will be dragged, limp, across the finish line by parents who have co-signed for student loans. Those parents cross the finish line with us today as well. We would not be here today without them. They have at times wrapped their physically and emotionally supportive arms around us, and on behalf of the entire class of 2015, we thank them also. It is difficult to have a significant other as a law student, and so I'm personally keenly aware that without the unwavering support of my beautiful wife, Michelle, and my two young sons, Alexander and Christopher, who crossed the finish line with me today, as well as the rest of my family, including my St. Thomas Law Review family, I would not be standing here today. I am strengthened by all of you, not the least by my memory of my grandfather, Arthur, who watches this commencement from heaven. I am humbled and profoundly thankful to my entire family. Like Derek Redmond, we have not quit. When his pain was at its greatest, he willed himself forward, as have we. When he fell, he got back up again, as have we. Law school's hard, yet here we stand. And that means this building is filled with powerful and determined people. So as we go out into the world as lawyers, as some of us work in the public sector and others in the private, we will be prosecutors and we will be defenders. We will be fighters and we will be peacemakers. And I am reminded that we have chosen a profession that will bring us into contact at times with the darkness in our communities, our country, and our world. You can't turn on the television these days without seeing something more horrible than the previous day, and it is said by many that light ebbs from our world. But it is at moments like this, at times like this, in places like this, right here, right now, that I know differently. As I look out at the graduating class of St. Thomas Law, I am breathtaken. If you could see what I see looking out right now at you, I see incredible brightness, an overwhelming light that we must shine everywhere we go. And so as I close, I will leave you with the words of the poet Dylan Thomas, who said, "Do not go gentle into that good night. Rage, rage, against the dying of the light. Good men, the last wave by, crying how bright their frail deeds might have danced in a green bay. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. I don't like the words might have been, and that's one of the reasons I'm here. Remember your own reasons as you cross the finish line today, and remember who walks across it with you. Make it count. I'm proud to know each one of you. Thank you, congratulations, and God bless.
Thank you very much, David. Our motto here is leaders have the courage and compassion to make a difference. We live that motto. We were recently recognized as one of the top 10 law schools in the country for providing pro bono service. Indeed, this past year, our student body has provided over 21,000 hours of pro bono service, and the graduating class has provided over 13,000 hours of pro bono service. Therefore, as it is our custom, I want to bring up the person from your graduating class who has provided the most pro bono service hours this year. And I'm proud to say that he was my former student. So for providing 366 hours of pro bono service, I want to invite Enrique Pagani to come up here to be recognized. I now proudly present this plaque to Enrique that says St. Thomas University School of Law Outstanding Public Service Award, Enrique M. Pagani, for dedication to the ideals of pro bono and public service, May 16, 2015. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I now would like to invite to the podium the President of the Student Bar Association, Lorena Duarte.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for being with us here today. In 2013, the graduating class of St. Thomas began a legacy, a class legacy in the form of a gift or an act of service for the community. So far, the class of 2013 commissioned Haitian artists to paint a mural that hangs beautifully in the Career Services office. The class of 2014 provided a day of fun for the families at the Ronald McDonald House by taking the kids out for a beautiful day of normalcy. Both gifts exemplified the thoughtfulness and compassion that St. Thomas Law students have for the community. This year, we wanted the gift to be something that will continue to give even years after we've already embarked on our careers and living our dreams. With the culture of the school being one of giving back to the community through either the volunteer income tax program, the immigration clinic, the bankruptcy clinic, or the human rights LLM program, helping the community is something that just comes very natural for us. This year, our class legacy will be to help build and furnish 2 classrooms for the Centro Campesino Farm Worker Center, a multi-service, nonprofit community development organization that has been serving farm workers and other low-income families in South Florida for over 41 years. Centro Campesino focuses on providing affordable housing, community development, neighborhood revitalization, leadership training, youth development, and employment and vocational training to these families. This year, Centro Campesino will be expanding their neighborhood program to provide 2 new classrooms to be able to educate 60 more students that are in the community that often do not have anyone to take care for them after school or help them with their homework. Our donations will help and contribute to the cost of construction for the expansion of the classroom, and it will be a way for the community to keep growing and learning and building, as we know that education is the key and the foundation to our success as a community. Thank you very much. We know the children are very grateful. We went to visit them a few days ago, and they send their sincere thanks to everybody that has given a little bit of their contribution to help with these classrooms. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lorena, and the class of 2015. Now it is my distinct honor and pleasure to present to you this year's commencement speaker, the 40th governor of the state of Florida, the Honorable Bob Martinez. Governor Martinez and I have a few things in common, one of which is both of our grandparents hail from the province of Asturias in northern Spain, and believe it or not, from the same city, Oviedo. And Oviedo is known for being Woody Allen's favorite city in the world. And if you ever go to that beautiful city, as the governor has and I have, you will see in the town square, right in the middle, a statue of Woody Allen. But Governor Martinez is truly an exemplary public servant. And first I want to acknowledge his gracefulness in coming here today, because yesterday he was honored as one of the 3 founding pioneers, modern pioneers of the city of Tampa, his hometown. And got here, I picked him up and his lovely wife Mary Jean at about 10 o'clock last night because his plane was delayed, but he chose to be here with you today, so I thank you, Governor. As governor, he continued the environmental protection program of his predecessor and was an advocate for protecting the Florida surface waters, including Lake Okeechobee, Tampa Bay, Lake Jackson, the Kissimmee River, and other areas. He was also a strong supporter of laws and rules that protected manatees and dolphins. Prior to being elected to statewide office, Governor Martinez served as the head of the Teachers Union in Tampa and as mayor of Tampa. He's an educator first, having gotten his degree at the University of Tampa and a master's in international labor relations from the University of Illinois. He was a 2-term mayor of the city of Tampa, city that built one of the first refuse-to-energy plants while he was mayor, a performing arts center during his term, a convention center. He reconstructed the zoo, restored the 1915 City Hall building, and annexed thousands of acres of undeveloped land that became the new Tampa. Upon leaving the governor's office in 1991, Governor Martinez was appointed by President George H.W. Bush to the position of Director of the Office of National Drug Control Policy, or Drug Czar. He was the second Drug Czar cabinet member in the history of the United States, succeeding William Bennett. He served in that cabinet position until 1993. For the past couple of decades, the former governor has served as a consultant to many businesses, is currently a policy advisor to the firm of Holland & Knight. Governor Martinez's distinguished record of public service to his hometown, to the state of Florida, to the United States, will serve as an incomparable role model for all of you here. As a law school, as I've said, that prides itself on devotion to public service, I can think of no other better speaker to embody those values than someone that I am very honored to call my colleague and my friend. Please welcome the Honorable Governor Bob Martinez.
First of all, congratulations. Before I start, why don't all you graduates get up and applaud your family, your friends that are here to root you on for the rest of your life? I think you also needed to stretch a little bit, so I hope that helped a bit. Monsignor Cassell, Provost Becerra, Dean L. Garcia, and my longtime friend, we were mayors together, Stan Tate, one of your former trustees and a strong supporter of this great university. Members of the Board of Trustees, members of the Board of Advisors, and faculty, I'm honored to have an opportunity to come here today and share a few thoughts with you. I think you heard a great message from your valedictorian. He clearly connected with you. And as I walked up on the processional, and most of you were standing at that time, I never saw so many smiles and laughter in a long time. Because life is full of dates. And there are dates that you remember. There's your date of birth. There's your graduation from high school date. There's a date when you graduate from bachelor with a bachelor degree. And now, 5, 16, 15, you get a law degree. Ironically, your date is a palindrome. Forwards and backwards is the same number. It's kind of unique. I don't have that. Mine didn't fall that way, but yours did. And when you look at life, it is about dates. When you look at a lifespan, there's a beginning, date of birth, and at some point God calls you, and that's another date. So the question is, between these two dates, what do you do? What are you here for? I'm not going to talk about employment, good or bad. All the crises that occur, they're there all the time. What I want to talk to you about is what you do with that time. I think Al used the word journey in his earlier presentation, and life is a journey. And you make choices in that journey. Sometimes there are dead ends. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. But the important part is the journey. And you only have so many years to participate, so you can't waste it. One of the things you'll decide is what kind of practice do you want to engage in. And one of the great privileges I have at Holiday Knight is that we're blessed with summer associates and young associates that are work real hard. And I get to take them out to lunch, and sometimes when I have a good event, I'll take one or two of them with me so they can experience some of the things that I engage in and some of the things that I have the privilege of participating in. And at a very young age, perhaps that will stimulate them to get engaged as well. And by engage, I mean not just earning a living. You have to engage with your family. You've got to engage with the community. You've got to engage with organizations that have nothing to do with the way you earn a living. You also have a very important thing. You are a custodian. No matter what you do, because you are an attorney, they expect you to be the custodian for ethics. The people expect you to be a custodian for confidentiality. When you engage in organizational activity, there are always nonprofit corporate papers and bylaws and mission statements, and they will always look to you for how do you draft it, how do you interpret it, how do you implement it. So you've chosen a profession that you really can't walk away from. But that's what's so exciting about it, that your skills will be in demand, not only by clients, but by those who want to do something bigger in their community. And you'll be part of that. Some of you faster than others. Some of you fall upon it quicker than others. But at some point, you will always engage. You will always engage with St. Thomas. As Dean Garcia said, I have 2 degrees, one from the University of Tampa and one from the University of Illinois, and I've been a trustee at the University of Tampa since 1980. I've given time. I've given money. I've raised money, and it's been easy for me because I'm native to Tampa. I went to a local school, and therefore I'm there. In fact, from my window on the 39th floor of the Regents Bank building, the university is right below me, across the river. So I see it all the time. University of Illinois, I only get there several times, not several times, maybe every 3 or 4 years, and I'll lecture for a couple of classes and take a football game to see the University of Illinois get beat by somebody. So it doesn't really matter who they play, they're not going to win. So, but it's a great, the only rule I've got, I will not go after November 1. That is one cold place. So I don't expect to go there after that. But be proud of your degree. Be proud of your university. Time, resources are what all colleges and universities need. Too often we forget how we got where we got. This is one of your big stepstones, graduating today. 5, 16, 15, a date you're not going to forget the rest of your life. Many times you'll be asked, what university did you attend? When did you graduate? It's like the Social Security number. You got to remember. You may not remember later on the exact date, but you're going to remember the year. You're not going to forget that. So be sure that that dash between birth and death is full of things that are meaningful. Don't be afraid to try. Don't let those who find reasons not to prevail over those who say there are no reasons why I can't. I'm going to close with a true story. I got elected mayor of Tampa in 1979. As Al said, I'm native there. My parents were born there. My kids were all there. I wasn't intending to be mayor of Tampa. I mean, just one of those things, the opportunity came, elected to do so, ran and won. I didn't want to serve more than 2 terms. I didn't want it to be a career. At that time, I owned a pretty good sized business. But my attorney friend, who did my personal stuff and my business stuff, and we socialized all the time, and says, you know, you got to run for governor. So I kind of laughed. And I said, no, 8 years as mayor's enough. No, you've got to. Bob Grimm was termed out, be a vacancy. You ought to try it. So after some long period of time, I finally said, all right, I'll go ahead and do it. What I found real interesting, that when it became publicly known that I was running for governor, which would have been early '85, the people that I had gone to college with or had worked with or had socialized with, they didn't have really any doubts whether I could win or not. That wasn't the issue. But those that I had grown up with had been from 1st grade through 12th grade, had great doubts that I could be elected governor of the state of Florida. You know, you're never an expert at home. You know, you got to come from somewhere else to be the expert. And here are some of the reasons that they said. Some of them had never left the neighborhood. By that I mean they were born, grew up, went to school, and hardly moved and didn't get engaged in the broader community. They stayed in a very narrow way of life. Meanwhile, I had gone opposite. But here's some of the things they would tell. Not all of them would tell you the same thing, but when you added all that they said, these are some of the things they said. I said, how can anyone with the name Martinez win a statewide election? That was the first thing I would hear. Now, back in those days, the Hispanic population of the state of Florida might have been, voting population was maybe 9%. So clearly, it was not a large number. Second, no Catholic has ever been elected governor of the state of Florida. So how are you going to overcome that? And of course, when I came out of an ethnic neighborhood and everybody was Catholic. So that was on their mind. How would a Catholic get elected when none had been elected before? Three, how can someone who doesn't have wealth raise the money, convince people of money to provide you with the resources to run a campaign? That's true. I was not one of wealth, had a good income, but I wasn't wealthy. Then for those who are politically astute, I changed parties. I was a registered Democrat, and then I changed parties in '83 to Republican. Plague in both of your houses. You change parties. You're not going to be loved where you went, and those that you left are really upset with you. So I would hear that as well. And back then when you were a labor leader and the teachers went on strike and they're going to bring that up and you'll never get elected. And so on. But you know what? I don't listen to any of it. And had I listened to one or more of those, I would have been in a public office in 1987. So my message to you is, don't listen to bad advice. There's nothing wrong with not winning. I've won and I've lost. But I never have to worry, what if? Because I did it. And you can do it. God bless you. The best to you in life.
Thank you, Governor Martinez. Thank you very much for your words. From time to time, St. Thomas University awards a doctoral degree, honoris causa, to recognize an individual deserving respect and honor for the life that he has led. As the Provost and Chief Academic Officer of St. Thomas University, I recommend for the honorary degree of Doctor of Laws, Governor Robert Bob Martinez. Monsignor Casal.
By the power vested in me as President of St. Thomas University by the Board of Trustees and by the State of Florida, I hereby confer upon you, Governor Robert Bob Martinez, the degree Doctor of Laws, honoris causa. Congratulations.
Dean Garcia.
Now comes the time you have all been waiting for. We have all been waiting for. The awarding of the degrees you so hardly work for. Degrees will be awarded in the order of Masters of Laws, then Juris Doctor's degrees. Candidates will be hooded and then presented to the president of the university for their awarding of their degrees. Class of 2015, come on up.
Good morning. I am Professor Rosa Patti, the Executive Director of the LLM and JSD program in Intercultural Human Rights. Now we will be recognizing the candidates for the LLM degree in Intercultural Human Rights. These candidates will be hooded by Dean Alfredo Garcia and Professor Siegfried Wiesner, the founder and director of the graduate program in Intercultural Human Rights. Would the candidates for the LLM degree please move forward? Carol Louise Castleberry, summa cum laude. Daniel Benjamin, summa cum laude. Valeria Vismara, summa cum laude. Judy Herbzuber e Chavez, magna cum laude. Sergio Andres Marin Blanco, cum laude. Hisham Ali Rehia, cum laude. Joshua Weiser. Edgar Anthony Cruz. Bolor Ider. Pichi S. Escarmont. Ashley Carreras Emerick. Latoya Martels, cum laude. Abdul Rahman Abdul Ghani Fayad. Rafi Al-Zarani. Jean Castor. Jean-Jude Picon. Jerry Chukwu Stevens. Marie-Carmel Pierre. Emanis Myrtil. Frederick Tsai. Ahmed Saber Arab. George William. Mungtsetseg Otgon Bayar. Gerardo Martinez.
Those are our LLM candidates. Good morning. I am John Hernandez, the Assistant Dean for Student Affairs. We will now recognize the candidates for Juris Doctor degrees. Putting the candidates are Dean Garcia and Associate Dean Dykes. Maxime Meltzer, magna cum laude. Lorena Duarte. Enrique Pagani. Luis Alejandro Rubio, cum laude, being hooded by Cristina Rubio, class of 97. Al, you stay up there. Merriwick Moza Vargas, cum laude. Jason Villares. Elisa Barbara Ruiz. Andres Francisco Rey. Rachel Lee Skolnick. Josue Luis Ochoa, magna cum laude. Assad Jahangir Gadi. Philip Rhodes. Emily Kim Silver, cum laude. Remington Ross Frau, cum laude. Sarah Lynn Petrowski. Sabina Contreras. Cindy Blandon, cum laude. Yanis Hirsch, cum laude. Ingrid Lloyds. Maria Gentile. Regia Lucia C. Smith. Igor M. Karpov. Levi Lawrence Wilkes, magna cum laude. Diana Carolina Acevedo. Christina Colon, cum laude. Alicia Marie de la O. Valerie Evanson. Catherine Elizabeth Lecousset. Sean Robert Gibbons, Jr. Susana Rodriguez, cum laude. John Downs. Anthony Vincent Murill. Anne Charlias. Jerry Benjamin Hosey II, cum laude. Eduardo Julio Vega. Kelly Lynn O'Connell. Walwyn Lee Taylor. Valerie Marie Milan. Danielle Lynn Snyder. Anika Guevara. Laura Alicia Alvarado, magna cum laude. Eileen N. Gonzalez, cum laude. Carlos Jordi. Ashley Yvette Figueroa, cum laude. Andrew Iston Mercer. Angelica Al Abdallah Farias. George Goranades. Jonathan Joseph Corey. Yvette Destin. Once you go down and come back up and sit in your chair, go down and then come back up. David Arthur Schnobrick, summa cum laude. Nawal Bashaman Cholton, cum laude. Glennis Domingo, magna cum laude. Jacqueline Whitney Hagens, being hooded by Jeffrey Hagens, class of 13. Carlos Alberto Londoño. Domingo A. Lopez. Jordan B. Fertel.
Karen Castine.
Karam Castaigne. Melissa Marie Marquez. Lauren Covert. Pineda? Christina Alexis Pineda. Elizabeth Marie Fernandez, cum laude. Luisa Mandy Ramsamy. Ladis Ferreira Poro. Gabriella Zach. Frank D. Garrison, cum laude. Ian C. Lemonius, cum laude. Cody Lane Frank. Guillermo Cesar. Lourdes Velez. Natalie Tirado. Jesse Peterson, magna cum laude. Stephanie Tamgo.
He wants you to say Emilio. Alejandro Emilio Lopez.
Alejandro Emilio Lopez. Alexander Miles Goldstein.
Virgilio.
Brandon Paul Virgilio. Gregory Light, being hooded by his father, Professor Alfred Light. James Michael Ryan, magna cum laude.
El Madawi. El Madawi.
Gamila Elmadawi, magna cum laude. It's Alain, right? Alain? Alain E. Roman, summa cum laude. Roll Antonio Perez.
Yacona. Yacona.
Yacona? Maria Yacona. Albert Lee.
Inemi. Inemi.
Inemi D. Bestman, cum laude. Kristen Diane Montgomery.
Dotruche.
Joanne Dotruche.
Adalis.
Mercy Adalis Londoño. Eric Alexander Weisberg, cum laude. Teresa? Maria Teresa Rosso.
Yaima.
Maria Yaima Carmona.
Son.
Brandy Elizabeth Rollerson. Jacqueline Sarah Waldman. Eric Matthew Rodriguez. Daniel C. Mile, cum laude. David Mannarin, summa cum laude. Nicholas Tyler Apathy.
Middle hoser. Done.
Tahani K. Middlehooser Dunn. Martha L. Mendez, cum laude.
Woodard.
Monica Lynn Woodard.
Dougherty.
Nathan Doherty.
Stanislav Shamayev. With a V at the end.
Stanislav Shamayev. Magna cum laude. Nicia Carolina Mejia Morales. Kimberly Kadeen Kerr.
Mikael.
Mikael Deborah Saintville Brune. She's got a cheering squad. Cynthia K. Mendez, cum laude. Lakita R. Foster. Anna Zumramskaya. Anne Hoagland, magna cum laude. Michelle Castillo.
Don't say the W.
Okay. Alejandro Fernandez Lobo. Jessica Marie Castro. Paul Alexander Hankin, cum laude. Sean Ryan.
Salcedo Yuri.
Melody Ann Salcedo Yuri.
Matos Aguilar.
Joyner de Montos Aguiar. Stacy Ann Latoya Hunter. Monique Tamla Linder. Paula I. Vispal. Being hooded by Kevin Cudlip, class of 14. Patricia Dennis. Natalie Melissa Fernandez. Lana Hernandez. Amanda? Is it Amanda? Amanda Marie Rodriguez, cum laude.
Irazari.
Laura Soler Irazari. Joanna Castillo Alvarado.
I ask all the graduates for the Master of Laws in Intercultural Human Rights and the Juris Doctorate degree to please stand. By the power vested in me as president of St. Thomas University by the Board of Trustees in the state of Florida, I hereby declare you to be graduates of St. Thomas University School of Law with all the rights and privileges of the degree appertaining thereto. Congratulations.
I would like to thank all of you for sharing in this very special moment in the lives of our graduates. I would be remiss if I didn't thank a few people who have in the background worked very hard and tirelessly to make this event a success. Deans Hernandez and Kelly. And most importantly, all the members of our staff and our student ambassadors, give them a hand. I invite you to join us at the law school for a reception immediately following this event. Following Father Romanello's benediction, please remain seated until the platform party, faculty, and graduates have left the commencement area.
Let us pray. Lord, you have said to your followers that they must be the lights to the world and salt to this earth. Help these graduates be a light to this world so that their lives may radiate your message of faith, hope, and charity, and salt to this earth so that their lives may grow in zest for your justice and mercy. We ask this through Christ our Lord.